Elon Musk's approval rating isn't the only thing that's been tanking. He has been taking down the reputations of all the businesses he's affiliated with, and it's pretty stark. If you take a look at this, this is the top 100 brands by brand identity, and you can see how all of the corporations that are tied to Elon Musk have been dropping, with the possible exception of Twitter, but Twitter was already so low ranking that it's hard to really say. But Tesla has plummeted over the last year or two. Even SpaceX, which I think of as being less directly tied to Elon Musk, they're off. It's not like consumers really have to be involved with them. They're just catching rockets or whatever. But even they're plummeting at this point. Again, and with Tesla, you can say the cars are too expensive, the Cybertruck is stupid, and we'll get back to that. But if SpaceX's reputation is going down, what alternative explanation is there other than this is the effect of being affiliated with Elon Musk? I don't think that there is one. This is just, he's that wildly unpopular. And so let's talk about how it's dropped over time. Tesla was in 8th place among these brands back in 2021, very highly rated at that point of the 100 most visible American companies. Last year, it tumbled to 63rd place. Now it's at the very bottom at 95th. It placed dead last in character, that's bad, while placing near the bottom in areas like ethics and citizenship. So I don't know, are they even going to be on there? They're still visible. I guess they have to be rated, but they might be literally last on the list. And just in a few years, 4 years ago, they were 8th. People loved them. They were seen as innovative and they were mavericks and all that. Now they're despised by more and more people. And the drop off hasn't been as big for SpaceX, partly because they didn't start quite as high. They were at 48th. Now they're at 84th. They're close to Tesla at this point. The companies now sit among some of the lowest rated firms in the poll, including Meta, which people have hated for 15 years at this point, Spirit Airlines, and this is my favorite part of the whole show, the Trump Organization at 100th. And I think that's Axios being kind of mean there, because I don't even think the Trump administration is one of the top 100 most visible corporations. I think they put them in the list just so they could come up last there. But anyway, Spirit Airlines is barely below Tesla at this point. And Spirit Airlines basically just exists to make you feel bad about your life when you fly on them and to produce easy jokes for Weekend Update on SNL. That's basically all it is. And Tesla's close to that. Even SpaceX is getting down there too. And so this has got to be the Elon Musk effect. And so it makes all the sense in the world that he would be stepping back from politics and really trying to get that message out there. So I saw this headline, I'm sure you saw it too. Elon Musk suggests he will spend a lot less on political donations. He's desperately trying to get people to stop thinking of him as this guy trying to wreck democracy, buy judges and all that. But the thing is, we know, we're smart enough, you don't just trust what he says, a rich guy like him. Remember early on in 2024, when the reporting was that he was going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars, he was like, that's a lie. I would never. And then it turns out that he did exactly that. Okay, you suggest you'll spend a lot less. That is worth absolutely nothing, but we will be watching and we'll find out. And so I hope that people's hate for him continues. And if it has knock-on effects in Tesla, I think that is good in the long term for them. They should boot his ass out. He's a rock. He's dragging you to the bottom of the pond. Let him go. There's no benefit to having Elon Musk anymore, whether he spends money on politics or not. And I definitely think he will continue to do so. But let's turn now to one of the other things that has been tanking the reputation of that company. Because Tesla has become kind of a toxic brand and a lot of people who aren't hardcore MAGA don't necessarily want to buy cars from them right now, people are turning in their Cybertrucks, but when they do it, they're not getting nearly as much money as they think. So it's partly a brand ID thing. It's partly that the Cybertruck has not proven to be nearly as popular as you were told it was going to be while we were waiting for it to come out. But let's talk about how the value has dropped over time. So after a year of refusing trade-ins, Tesla has now begun providing estimates to Cybertruck owners for their used vehicles. And again, remember, they can only be so used. They just came out. They're now offering just $65,000 for a $100,000 truck bought in 2024 with just 6,000 miles on the odometer. Let's pause there. We're going to return to that graphic. So a year-old truck that has only been driven like 400 miles a month or something, they're only going to give you $65,000 for. Now, look, that would sort of imply that people aren't really using their Cybertrucks, and I don't want to besmirch Cybertruck owners as if, they're like weekend warriors who don't really drive their truck around. I think for many of them, it's hard to log more miles when your truck is in the shop for months at a time. So I'm not really going to put this on them. It's an undrivable vehicle most of the time. But let's return now to the drop-off. It's a 35% markdown on a 1-year truck. It's how much value the average pickup truck would typically lose after 5 years. So every car depreciates, every truck depreciates. But the Cybertruck is depreciating 5 times faster than other trucks, than your Ram or your Silverado or your F-150 or whatever. And to be clear, this sort of drop-off is kind of the opposite of what Musk was telling people would happen with the Cybertruck in just 2019.
Buying a car today is an investment in the future. You're essentially buying a car. You're buying. I think the most profound thing is that if you buy a Tesla today, I believe you are buying an appreciating asset, not a depreciating asset.
So Elon Musk, who we are told constantly is the smartest man on earth, said that the Cybertruck, and he seemed to be implying not just the Cybertruck, but that Teslas in general will appreciate in value. That you buy it and the next year it's worth more. Now, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because it's not, they still make them. Why would you pay more for the one that came out last year than the one that's rolling off the lot? It's not like they don't produce enough. It's not limited edition. It's not like there's supply chain issues. What is he implying there? That they're going to jack up the price of the new ones so much that you'd rather buy a used one even if it costs more than what the new one's MSRP should be? But I don't even know if he's thinking about that much. It's just raw, unsubstantiated, smooth-brained hype that for some reason the Cybertruck is going to do what no car in history has ever done other than the most limited edition classic cars ever. And usually then it takes decades. It's going to be worth more after you drive it, after you use it, than it was new. And so if you're like a lover of Elon Musk, of Tesla, of the Cybertruck, why are you not furious at him? Because that's bonkers. That's insane that he said that to you. You might have bought the vehicle based on that. And now, not only is it not appreciating, not only was it not an investment, but you're losing value 5 times faster than other trucks. And even if it's not the Cybertruck, Tesla values in general are tanking 3 times faster than any other brand. Okay, that's what we're told. Now, some people say EVs generally, they've lost value faster than other vehicles, generally because people aren't sure that they can trust the batteries. I think a lot of that is psychological. I don't think it's founded in anything, but they're losing value faster than other electric cars at this point. They are not an appreciating asset. You would think, like, is there a class action lawsuit to be launched in this when you are given such verifiable lies from the CEO who's trying to jack up the stock price by lying to you in that way? I don't know, but none of this looks good for the Cybertruck. None of this looks good for Tesla at this point.